Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers and the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and this is video who knows what in the series on our Wizard of Oz book. Now, what happened is that I combined videos 1 and 2 into video 1, and I had already recorded a couple ahead of time, so then the numbering got off because 2 was 3, 3 was 4. It's just a big giant mess. So at the beginning of each video I say, you know, this is video such and such in the series, and you may have noticed that it's wrong every time. So moving onward and upward. This video we're going to talk about the cover, and we're going to talk about signature 1 real quick, and then we're going to sew one signature in so that you can see how to do it. Okay, we're going to glue the papers on the cover. We're going to talk about a closure as well because we forgot to put them on when we were binding the book. So we're going to have to figure out something else. There are 2 options, and we'll have to decide what we're going to do. I'm pretty sure I know what I want to do. But I'll talk about that. So let's, because we need to get this covered, it's white, before we get anything on it. And we need to put this on because I like to see the stitching. Some people don't, and they put lace over it. Totally up to you. You can do that if you like. So let's set this. And I happened to come across some embroidery floss, and we'll talk about in a minute why I use embroidery floss that's in the perfect color. So we're going to use that as well. Let me move these crazy red flowers out of the way. My voice is a little rough this morning, and I may have to, you know, drink some pop or whatever. So we'll put this aside too. Move these little clippers up there. Okay, so this is what I've got. I've got this little booklet, and I really don't want to sew or put a pocket in the book cover. I like it the way it is. I like clean. So I know a pocket would be clean and we could stick the book in it, but I'm not sure that we're going to have space. So we're going to have to decide at the end what we're going to do, and I really wouldn't want to put a feature inside the cover at the end. It would be better to do it in the beginning. So what we're going to do is the signature I show you how to sew in will be the first signature, and I'm going to work my way backwards, and then by then I'll have decided whether I'm going to put the pocket in or not. Pop already. So we have the booklet. I laminated the 2 bookmarks, so we're ready to go with those. And all 3 signatures are complete. So now this is signature 1, and I went through and I added more to it after we spoke the last time. So and I also would like to add, and maybe I shouldn't, some people may not notice, but there are faint lines in this particular picture, this one picture, not in any of the rest, so it's not my printer, but it's in the image somehow, and so hopefully, you know, it isn't really noticeable. It just was noticeable to me, and I tend to overthink things. So we've got the signature cover, and then inside we have the writing page that we enhanced. Okay, could have made that an up tuck. Think of things later. And then I added this pocket onto the tea-dyed paper, coffee dyed paper. You'll notice most of it I did not leave completely blank. And this pocket was already there, but I added some ephemera. And this was here. And this was here, and I added the name Dorothy. Then here's our center spread, nice and clean. Then our music. And I might add a little bit of ephemera to the corner. I think I did in the other book, or the other signature. And it's a different song from the movie. And then we got this in our little insert. And this is a tuck. And it's got these pieces of ephemera in there. I don't know. I may glue this side so that it holds down better. As you can see that the items slide a little bit. That's why I added so many. Okay, and then we had the pocket that we added. We've got the belly band that we added. There's a writing page. I might add a little piece of ephemera there still. The back picture page and the back writing page, and then the back cover. So all in all, this one somehow came out thinner than the others, even though it has the same number of pages and has pockets and stuff in it. And so I'm not really sure why. But then we've got two more signatures, and I'm not going to go through them, but they're substantially bigger, it seems to me, than signature 1, which is the one that we're going to sew in. All right, so we've got that set aside. And oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about is you may notice that the pages stick out further in the center, and that's called creep. That's because in the corner here, each page, the thickness of it keeps it from going all the way into the center. Okay, so you're going to have to remember also, you don't want to bang this like this to even it up. You want to tap it, because we've got that smaller card in the center, and we don't want it to slide all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so let's talk about the closure for just a minute. We forgot to put the closure in. I did, when we made the cover. Oh, it should have gone in under this paper here and under the paper here. But then again, the book ended up being a little fatter, and our ties might have been too short. So, you know, it is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie the book shut. I've got this lace, which is the same lace that we used inside the book, that we can tie it shut with. But it just seems not substantial enough, I guess. So I've also got this white sari silk, and I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to use to tie it shut. And use however much we need. And start at this end. So we should have enough there, and there's a seam right there. Sari silk is leftover silk from saris in India. And if you do buy sari silk, make sure that it's from companies that support the women that actually make it, and are not in a factory where they're getting paid 3 cents an hour or some such thing. So we're probably going to do that. Okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to glue on our spine paper. This is a 1.5 inch spine, so we cut a little bit less than a 1.5 inch paper, and we're going to have to center it because it's 8.5, and in the book itself is 9. 8.5 is as tall as I could get without turning it the other way, but then it would have been taller than the ones on the cover and the back. Okay, so let's open it up. Then we're just going to glue it on. and we're going to position it. It'll help hide the seam. Okay, so we've got that glued on. Now, before we bind it, we can go ahead and glue the front and the back on and get that over with. Now, talking about the cover, as you were, I bought these poppies to go on here because I thought poppies, poppies. Then I realized there's this big poppy down here, and it's a totally different color. It's almost like a peachy, rosy colored poppy. Now, I could probably cover up this corner with poppies, but then I would have to cover up this whole corner up here with poppies, and I'm not sure that that's what I want to do. So we're going to glue them on, and then I'm going to take a look at that and decide off camera what I'm going to do, because I'm just going to be sitting there pondering. Probably not very fun to do on camera. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, small. It's just the way the print came out on the picture. I almost used the brown one, which is this one, to get rid of our poppy problem. But didn't have Dorothy on it. And it had white roses on it. Now, when we go to sew the signature in, you are going to find that I don't just use a pokey tool and poke the holes. I can't because of my hands. So I have to use a crocodile and make holes, and yes, you'll be able to see them. But I use embroidery floss, and that helps with it, plus it's easier for me to work with. I like that just fine. Okay, we'll glue the back one on. If I can position this one as well as I could position the other one, I would put some glue in the center. But I don't know that I can, and I'm not sure that I'll have enough time to move it around if there's glue in the center. I'm freezing. My fingertips are purple. There's a little bit of glue coming out. Now, this one looks a little higher. All I'm doing is squeezing glue out. I guess that's what happens when you don't lay it out flat. And they're such small papers for the cover. So there's our front cover, and our inside cover, and our back cover, and our spine. Okay? So now we're going to take and we're going to calculate where we want the holes. So we want to start in the middle. This is 1.5, so 3/4 of an inch in. We're going to go ahead and use a pencil. We can erase it. Not very hard. It's not going to draw like, you know, Picasso on here. So let's start with 5 and go in 3/4 of an inch. Let's try to guesstimate the center. We're going to repositional glue. Oh, that reminds me. We're not going to be able to do a writing board. It's not going to fit. I am, however, going to make a separate video on printing on envelopes and making a writing board. So no worries. So we'll line these two up and we'll lightly draw a line across so we know where the vertical center is. And then I'm going to erase the dots. Then we'll go in 3/4 of an inch from the inside seam, which is really hard to see on here. We're going to go about an inch down. And that's an inch down. Okay. So here we're going to go 3/4 of an inch in. From the edge of the about an inch down. 3/4 of an inch in. I wanted to show you real quick what the binding's going to look like. It's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You can see the holes, but the embroidery floss fills it in pretty well. And this is a black cover, so it's a little bit more coverage. Of course, we have plaid, so. Okay, so now let's draw a light line from here to here. Only the eagles can see that. So that gives us our center. So that's where our center dot goes. Okay. Now we're going to split this in half so we can use our zeroing ruler. This is the center, and that's the edge. Should be 3/8. Doesn't seem quite far enough. Okay. Let's make a really light line here, and let's just make sure they all line up. Okay, and that's where we're going to make our holes. Okay, so we're going to get the crocodile out. And I just want to say that binding the book is the craziest part for me. And I don't know why. It isn't hard, especially the way that I do it. If you get to where you can't use the pokey tool and poke it through with any success, then put your crocodile on the smallest setting. I lost my flower. Look on the floor, that's usually where it is. Yep. If I can't find it, it's on the floor. I almost fell over. Don't tell anybody. And again, I apologize for my quavery, quiet voice. Just think of me as Oh, I can't even think of his name now. Mr. Roberts. Welcome to my neighborhood. Okay, so you're going to set it on the smallest setting. And you're going to line it up with your dot. And you're going to punch a hole. And we're going to do the same thing in the middle. The worst thing that can happen is that you have to make a new cover. Okay. I just now had to look and check and see what time it was. Okay, so there's our 9 holes. They do seem like they move over a little bit. You know, like this a little bit. But I don't think it's enough that it's going to make a difference. Now we're going to take our signature. I'm going to open it to the center. And line everything up. I don't like taking things out, but a paper clip is something we need to take out. Let's get our pages all straight. And we're going to fold it. Push those center ones in as hard as you can. Then you're going to lay the book where you want it to be, as in where you want the holes on this, so that this lines up top and bottom. Okay, and then we're going to take our pencil and we're going to mark it here. Maybe not that vigorously. And we're going to mark this here. Mark this here. Okay. I'm going to open this up again. to the center. We're going to make sure everything is straight again. Double check. And then we're going to clip it. I don't remember where I got these little clips. I may have gotten them on Amazon. Sometimes I just clip on the top on one side and the bottom on the other diagonal side. This seems a little thick. So I think I'm going to clip the top and the bottom. Why did I put them in amongst the silk? And we're going to flip it over. And right where our crocodile marks are, and they should be right in the center, we're going to cut holes in the signatures. And we'll see how well it punches through this many. I had more trouble seeing it than I did anything else. There's a shadow. I have a light to the right of me. Well, the dot's not there anymore, so we must have hit the dot. And then last one. This has 2 size hole punches, and the larger one is too large. Okay, get all these little pieces out of the way. They're all the little punches. Now, for this part, all we have to do now is sew this into this. Let's erase our pencil marks. And they magically disappear as if they were never there. Okay, now we're going to get out our thread. I always fight with getting these open. I can never tell where the edge is. See, I told you my hands are just... not doing well for me this morning. And I'm doing this instead of pulling the thread out through that, because otherwise you just get a big pulled mess. Okay, now where's our end? Okay, you're going to want, I do 3. Most people do 2.5. 1, 2, 3, and we cut it off. And this way also, it doesn't really matter what size needle you use. With my hands, as you can see this morning, not really cooperating, then I can use the bigger one so that I can hold on to it. These come with my book binding kit, and I got it on Amazon. Came with needles and different colors, waxed book binding thread, and a couple other tools. And I'm not sleepy. It was just a thing. Okay. Take our signature. This is signature 1. And you don't want to sew it in upside down. I've done it before. So we're going to go out through the middle, go through this hole, leave a tail up to the top, back through to the inside. There's a shadow and I can't see in through the top. And hold on to this. You don't want to pull this all the way out. Then you're going to go back out through the center, making sure that you don't go through this thread. You want to go side next to it. Even with this big needle and this big thread, it's still a little difficult for me. You want to pull it tight while you're holding this tail. Then you're going to go in through the bottom Pete's sake. I make it look harder than it is. It isn't hard. Pull everything tight. Then you're going to tie a knot. Pete's sake. This is why I don't normally do this on camera. They feel silly. There we go. We'll do it one more time. Of course we will, because we had so much fun the first 2 times. And then that's going to be it. That's how you sew a signature in the long, drawn-out way. Probably the longest 3-hole pamphlet stitch in the world. And we could trim this one. I kind of like the length of that one. And we're going to tie it shut with the sari silk. It's my opinion. There we go. And now we've got the first one sewn in. Sewn in upside down. So anyway, that's how you sew it in. This is how you yank it out and sew it in again. Make sure you check this picture to your cover picture. That's all I have to say. But I have to cut it. Okay. So I'm going to sew it again. But that's all for this video. I showed you how to do it. You know how to do it. Just check your picture. So that means we need to sew it in here in this first one. Okay? I apologize. Like I said, this is the most frustrating part for me with my hands. So I showed you how to do it. Didn't have a problem with showing it to you. I showed you how to pull it out if you accidentally sew it upside down. And then to close it, we're just going to close it with the sari silk. We're going to wrap it around and we're going to tie it. Simple enough. I'm not going to put those red poppies on there too red. They clash with this. If I could find some of this color, then I might consider putting some on, you know, up here. I mean, up here in the corners. But I don't think I'm going to. I could also put some of this thin lace that we used on the inside. Around here. I do kind of like that. I think I will do that. And then I'll tie the sari silk around it. Okay, so I'm going to sew this back in right side up. I'm going to sew the other two signatures in. And I'm going to try not to embarrass myself on video. People do it all the time. It's not like it never happened before. So then we want to make the first signature going in here. And if it's right side up, then the first page will be in the right spot. Yes, it is. Okay. I'm going to put you on hold, and I'm going to sew the other signatures in, or all three signatures in. Okay, we're back. As you can see, I got all three signatures sewn in. This is what it looks like. Let me take this off. I just did it so I could see how long of one I needed. Now, if you wanted, you could glue it here, but I don't want to because of the way I stitched it. So I'm just going to leave it loose. And so this is the way the binding ends up looking. Let me show you inside. It's sewn in, and then when you look in, I put the bookmarks in. You can see them on the top. And then I just put the booklet in the middle loose. And then when you get to the second signature, it's right there. They're all lined up with the bottom of the blue. Because my hands are so shaky, they're a little loose. And I got the second two pretty well. And then there's that one. And they all just happen to fit. So I apologize to the winner ahead of time. The signatures are a little loose. It is what it is. That's all I'm going to say. So then you just tie the sari silk around. I'm going to tie the bow on the front because I can't really tie them on the side. And then I can just slide it around if I want to. Just tie that on there. I decided against the flowers. They're totally the wrong color. And I totally blew the bow. Anyway, if it was tied correctly, it would be nice. And that's going to be it for the book. Okay, I want it for the book. That's it for our video. And that's it for this series. And I will see you in the next series. And that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye-bye.